Again, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. You're all joining the UP NISMED K-12 Science Webinar Series. This webinar is brought to you by Kasama Teachers Online Community and UP NISMED with support from Intel Education. Today's webinar is the 15th in the series and focuses on Unit 1 of Grade 9 Science. Let me open our webinar today with 3 introductions. First, I will introduce UP NISMED and its role in the K-12 science curriculum reform. Next, I will briefly introduce Kasama Teachers Online Community, our webinar organizer. And finally, I will give you an overview of the K-12 science webinar series. Okay, UP NISMED stands for the University of the Philippines National Institute for Science and Mathematics Education Development. Founded in 1964, its goal is to contribute to raising the level of science and mathematics education in the country through research, curriculum development, teacher professional development, and extension and public education. NISMED contributed to the development of the K-12 Science Curriculum Guide. At this point, let me now bring you to the connection between UP NISMED and the K-12 Science. The Grade 7 and Grade 8 learners' materials and teachers' guides were written mostly by NISMED science education specialists. As a result, NISMED likewise designed and conducted the training of trainers for both grades. Grade 9 science is a bit different. NISMED was not involved in developing the learners' materials and teachers' guides. Its involvement in the national training of trainers was also limited. The training was held at NISMED, and a few of the science education staff were invited as facilitators in sessions where selected learning activities were tried out by the participants. Till now, NISMED continues to serve as consultant to DepEd in K-12 science. Among NISMED's initiatives is Kasama Teachers, an online community of Filipino science and math creators. Since most of you are already members, you know that membership in the online community is free. Kasama Teachers supports NISMED's continuing work in K-12 science. In the community site, there are discussion threads on K-12 science. You can also find links to the learners' materials and teachers' guides and download the latest DepEd issuances of the K-12 program. UP NISMED, though, cannot reach all science teachers, but with technology we can reach many, hence this webinar series. The webinars are free and are aimed to support teachers, schools, divisions, even teacher education institutions in their implementation of the K-12 science curriculum reform. NISMED has partnered with Intel Education for the free use of their webinar platform. Of course, participation in the webinar is easy. Teachers just go to the webinar site every 4th Friday at 4 p.m. And if you miss a webinar, the recorded webinar as well as the presentations and documents shared during the webinar are all accessible in Kasama Teachers. The discussions and sharing of practices also continue in Kasama Teachers. For the benefit of community members, this slide points to the discussion threads. The titles you see have live links. Today's webinar is the second for Grade 9 Science. So far, we have conducted 7 webinars for Grade 7 and 6 for Grade 8. This webinar on Unit 1 of Grade 9 Science is a two-part mini-series that aims to enhance science teachers' competence in the two most critical and challenging features of the K-12 science reform: science progression and teaching science through inquiry. In the first webinar on June 27, the overview of Unit 1, Living Things and Their Environment, showed how the concepts spiral across the 4 grade levels in junior high school. Mike Mantala, our resource person, helped us uncover the connections across the 4 strands within the Life Science unit. The webinar also presented the scientific inquiry continuum and how Science Like You can use it as a practical guide for integrating scientific inquiry in instruction. Continuing with the mini-series, the second part will focus on helping you to modify existing classroom activities with limited or low-level inquiry to come up with the type that engages students in scientific inquiry. In today's webinar, you will have the opportunity to work with other participants to practice using the scientific inquiry continuum with its levels of inquiry to design inquiry-based learning activities that are both mapped to curriculum standards and match student ability. And here is our agenda. The presentation, titled Confirmation, Structured, Guided, or Open Scientific Inquiry in the Classroom, will take up an hour, including the exercise or workshop, after which there will be time to address questions or comments raised during the presentation. We strongly encourage everyone to participate by answering the polls and typing in questions and comments. You can use the chat pod for this purpose. We also strongly encourage you to take part in the breakout session that will follow. Then we end with a survey of your feedback on the webinar and some announcements. Are you excited to learn with us? Let me now load the presentation and introduce to you our resource person. Okay, so you should now see the presentation loading on your screens. Let me introduce Maria Dulcelina Sebastian, our resource person today. Dulce is a science education specialist at UP NISMED's Biology Education Group. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Biology from the University of San Agustin and a Master of Arts in Education major in Biology Education from UP Diliman. Before joining NISMED in 1985, Dulce taught college biology. As science education specialist, Dulce is involved in curriculum development, teacher professional development, and research. Among the curriculum materials she co-authored are the SEDP and the Beck series of Science and Technology 2 textbooks and teacher's manuals. She also co-authored 2 volumes of the high school biology source books, one for teachers and another for teacher trainers, under the Science and Mathematics Education Manpower Development Project. Like Mike, who was our resource person last time, Dulce is a writer for the grade 7 and 8 learners' materials and teachers' guides. She also is a trainer in the National Training of Trainers for grade 7, 8, and 9. In today's webinar, Dulce will help us or guide us to assess the level of inquiry supported by a particular activity or laboratory work, and help us adjust the level of inquiry in an activity to increase the amount of inquiry in science instruction. So friends, kasama teachers, let's all welcome Dulce.
Hello po. Welcome and good afternoon, dear participants. I'm glad you can be with us in today's webinar. This is entitled Confirmation Structured, Guided or Open Scientific Inquiry in the Classroom. I would like to start first with our objectives. After the webinar, the participants should be able to differentiate levels of inquiry according to the information that is made available to students, whether it is a teacher or student who controls what is being done during the activity and intellectual complexity. We'd like you also to practice modifying activities from one level to another. And we'd like you to appreciate your role in designing inquiry activities and that these should be aligned with content, performance standards, and competencies, and student abilities in order for them to learn not just science concepts, but values and behavior as well. I'd like to revisit the key points in Webinar 1. It then focused on connections and inquiry continuum. With regards to connections, in the K-12 curriculum, science concepts are connected with one another not only in discipline but also across disciplines and grade levels. In the K-12 lingo, related terms to these are spiral progression, linear progression, and curriculum connections. The second point under connections is that science concepts are also connected with given different contexts. The related term is real-world connections. The second focus is on inquiry. Here are the key points. Inquiry comes in different levels based on intellectual complexity and whether it is the teacher or the student who takes control. The second one is that each level of inquiry demands from the learner a certain level or a particular level of intellectual skills. And third is that increasing levels of intellectual sophistication or complexity also implies that the learner becomes self-directed. So as we learn more about inquiry, the context we are going to use is Module 4 of Unit 1 on Ecosystems Life Energy. This specifically will be on the topic photosynthesis. We chose this topic because for those who are teaching grade 9, you will still take this up in 2 or 3 weeks' time. Tama po ba? So what you see on your screen is a part from the curriculum guide for the K-12, which lists the content and content standards, the learning competency, and the performance standards required in teaching photosynthesis. Take note that as for content, the students should take up flow of energy and matter in ecosystems, photosynthesis, and respiration. In content standards, the students should learn about the structure and function of plant parts and the organelles involved in photosynthesis. The structure and function of the mitochondrion as the main organelle involved in respiration should as well be taken up. So as for the learning competency, the students are expected to differentiate basic features and importance of photosynthesis and respiration. As for the performance standards, they should be able to design and conduct an investigation to provide evidence that plants can manufacture their own food. So, dear participants, I'd like you to take note of these two, the learning competency and the performance standards, as you're going to use them also in the activity that will follow later. Now let's take a look at how the concepts in the ecosystem strand spirals and increases in difficulty from grades 7 to 10. As you can see on the screen, in grade 7 they were introduced to the concept of energy transfer across trophic levels. Energy transfer is achieved through different ecological relationships, an example of which is what they took up on predator and prey relationship. Also covered in grade 7 is the process of decomposition, and this leads to the concept of cycling of materials covered in grade 8. In grade 9, the concept of energy transferred is deepened with the introduction of the processes of photosynthesis and cellular respiration. All these concepts on energy transfer and transformation that were taken up from grade 7 to 9 will be put together to understand the dynamics involved in the flow of energy in ecosystems that lead to biodiversity and stability, which the students will take up in grade 10. Now we come to the 4 levels of inquiry. These are for level 1, confirmation, level 2, structured inquiry, level 3, guided inquiry, and level 4, open inquiry. In confirmation inquiry, the students confirm a concept through an activity where the results or solution are known in advance. This is useful as when part of a lesson's objective is to revisit a previously introduced idea, or if the teacher would like to introduce conducting investigations to students, or when a teacher also would like to familiarize the students with a specific inquiry skill like collecting and recording data. So this would mean that in confirmation inquiry, the students follow procedure of the activity, record their data, and analyze the results. In structured inquiry, the students investigate a question given or provided by the teacher, and then they use a prescribed procedure. So here, the problem and the method or procedure are still given by the teacher, but it will be the students now who will provide an explanation supported by the evidence that they have collected. The guided inquiry is one in which the students investigate a teacher-presented question, where students design their own procedure and explain the results. This is most useful in the past, when students in the past have been provided with opportunities to work on researches using different approaches, and when teachers need to guide students, need to guide students that their investigation plans also make sense. The last of the inquiry level is the open inquiry. Here, the students investigate questions that they themselves using galing sa kanila, no? And they perform this using, they perform this using their own designed procedure or investigation. And with this, they should be able to communicate the results. You are now looking at the table of the essential features of inquiry and their variations. I think you also are aware that there are 5 essential features of inquiry which are on the leftmost column, no? And the right, or the second portion, consisting of 4 columns, refer to the variations for each of the features of inquiry. You will notice that in each cell, describe tasks done by students, and as they perform inquiry-based activities. You will notice here that the tasks, as you move to the left, okay, is student-directed. Meaning, students has the control of the activities, and the student control increases. The tasks, as you move to the right, example like this, show that it is teacher-directed, meaning the teacher's control is increasing. So now that you have learned about the 4 levels of inquiry, the essential features of inquiry and their variations, can we now move on to the next activity? Are we now ready to modify the sample activity? Pwede na tayo mag-practice. Okay, tingnan natin itong isang material. Okay. Yan. Nakikita na. Okay, good. There you are. Can you see it on your screens? Oh, okay, there it is. Better. Okay. Okay, so this material is part of what the teachers would be using, no, for grade 9. Okay, and first, if you look at this material, okay, this is about photosynthesis. Okay, so the material gives an introduction to what photosynthesis is all about. The third paragraph actually gives the materials needed needed by plants to be able to perform photosynthesis. No? Okay. There is a part next to that which identify the parts that is involved in photosynthesis. Okay. Okay. The details also of what these parts are. The parts of the chloroplast, for example, okay, is also given. The discussion also describes what happens in the 2 stages of photosynthesis. Okay, nasusundan po? Then towards the end, okay, the chemical reaction for photosynthesis is given. So there you have the, okay, there, oops, sorry. Okay, so there you have the chemical reaction. So this is what has been described before as the materials in the presence of this one. Okay, and these are the products. Okay, so if you notice, a lot has been provided to the students in this material. Okay, mayroon pa ba tayong pwedeng ikwento sa kanila in order for them to know and understand photosynthesis? And then there's this part that ask the students, are you excited to know more about photosynthesis? Gusto pa ba nilang matutunan about, ano pang gusto, mayroon pa silang gustong matutunan about photosynthesis? Okay, I think it's time now to take a look at the activity proper. Let's move there. Okay. So, the activity proper is entitled Evidence of Photosynthesis. Okay. And if you notice, there was a previous activity to this. Okay. And this particular activity would like to show that sugar is produced by photosynthesis. So a closer look into this material, okay, we see that the students have been given the materials that they are going to use. Okay. There is also a given procedure, including the illustration of the students as they do the activity. And there's one step here, step 6, wherein the students are made to observe the leaf. And then there follows statements on what the students are about to observe. Okay, and this ends with a question. What can you infer from your observation? So, a quick look at the activity. There's the title. There's the list of materials. There's the given procedure. And then students are guided what can be observed. And there's a question at the end. Okay po? Okay. So, after looking at the material, can you now tell which level of inquiry is this? Sige nga, try tayo. Okay, may nakikita tayo. Okay, may question tayo. Lumabas, the poll. What level of inquiry is used in the activity? Okay, so you can vote now. Nakikita po nila. Yun, may sagot si Ma'am Jo. Confirmation po, ma'am. So, ilan na ang sumagot? Isa, dalawa. So, there are now 3 who have answered. Okay, hintay tayo ng konti. Mayroong nag-answer ng confirmation. Mayroong nag-answer ng guided. Okay? May we know why the 3 participants said that it's confirmation and the other 5 said it's guided? Pakitype po. So, yung nagsabi na confirmation, okay? So, sumagot si ma'am. May question po, then followed by procedure, unless they have the option to choose and tell what they have observed. Yeah, good. For me, guided po kasi may mga instructions na dapat gawin ng mga students. Okay. So I think we have to look back a bit, no? What we were saying before kasi, we were saying that there were four levels of inquiry, no? Confirmation, structured, guided, and open. So, 5, 6, so 6. Okay. So, guided din po kasi may instructions. Okay. Ano yung isa na sagot? Confirmation. The students confirm the principles indicated in the first paragraphs. Okay. I think that's okay. Good explanation. Okay. So, ano po ba yung characteristics natin kanina ng confirmation? The students confirm a concept through an activity where the results or solution are known in advance. Okay. So, confirmation po siya. Kasi, mayroon siyang mga discussions before, binigay na niya ng lahat about photosynthesis. Bago siya magpagawa ng activity. So, if you go back to this, okay, so there's the question, there's the problem, mayroon siyang procedure, tapos binigay niya in advance. Naalala po ninyo doon sa material, sa step 6, in-explain niya kung ano dapat ang maobserbahan nila, no, bago siya nagtanong. Okay. So, yun po ang ating, ang level of inquiry nitong material na to. So, it's confirmation po. Okay. Sige. So, we proceed. No? We proceed. Okay. Ang sunod po natin gagawin ganito. We have you have identified. So, dahil kilala na natin na confirmation inquiry, ang sample ng ating ginamit, okay, we can now move on to modify. Can we now move on rather to modify this to other levels? Pwede po ba? No? Can we move on to that? Okay. So, ready na po ba? Okay. Sige. If you are ready, okay, di ba may 4 na type, naka-identify tayo ng confirmation? Okay? So, meron na tayong who would want, no? We will be breaking out into groups. So, who would want, please type, who wants to modify this to a structured inquiry? Who would want to modify that and modify that into a guided inquiry? And who would want to modify it into an open inquiry activity? But before we break out into groups, here's what you're going to do. Each group will be provided with the following, no? So, sa screen din ninyo, makikita ninyo yung curriculum standards, yung 4 levels of inquiry, and the inquiry continuum. Kasi ito yung guide ninyo in modifying the sample activity. Then you will have, of course, the PDF copy of the photosynthesis activity sheet. And then you will be given, you will be allowed to use the chat pad. You will have the notes pad. Okay. So, as I said, you will use the levels of inquiry and inquiry continuum as a guide in modifying the sample activity to the level assigned to your group. You can use the chat pad to share your ideas with your group mates during brainstorming. So, pag nasa grupo na po kayo, you are going to brainstorm with your companions, and whatever you agree upon, you will what you call this, type it in the notes pad. No? So, okay na po. You have 10 minutes to complete the task. Okay. Okay na daw, ready na daw. Okay? So, nasundan po ba ang gagawin natin? Please type, dear participants, please type to which group you would want to belong. Modify confirmation to structured inquiry, modified confirmation to guided inquiry, or those who would want to modify the activity into an open inquiry. Please type in the chat into the level of inquiry you want to work on. Okay, so you have the instructions with you in your group. We can now start the breakout session. Dito? Okay, and shall we take a look at the ideas of each group? Group 1, please. Who is the reporter? Or the presenter, I mean? Group 1. So this group, no? For this group, the task of this group is to modify the confirmation inquiry into structured inquiry. Okay, so sabi nila, same procedure with confirmation inquiry, except procedure number 6. Okay, so for procedure number 6, we remove the explanation on expected outcome. Add a follow-up question, maybe something similar to the activity sheet. So, ang sinasabi nila dito, okay, stay put or tira, no? Tira yung question. Procedure the same. Remove the explanation dun sa may number 6 step. Okay. Thank you, Group 1. Okay. May we hear from Group 2? Let's take a look at what they have talked about. This group did the modification from confirmation to guided inquiry. Okay. So, suggestions. Oh, ito. Give examples of questions that students can choose from. So, for example, how to prove that plants produce sugar and oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. How do plants produce sugars through photosynthesis? What food do plants produce? What are the products of photosynthesis? Okay, how important are the end product of photosynthesis to us? So hindi sila natapos. Okay. Hindi sila natapos. Nag-brainstorm lang. So walang na-select na question? Hindi naka-select. Okay. Sige. Sige. Thank you, Group 2. Group 3? May we hear from you? Miss Jerai and Miss Marik? Ano kan sinasabi nila dito? Okay, suggestion daw. Wow. Okay. Okay. Sa students manggagaling ang question. They will investigate. Tama po ba? Okay. So, pwede daw sila paggawin ng question about plants for investigation. Okay naman daw. And then, they have to design their experiment for the investigation. May scenario daw. Tayo na ipipresent sa kanila. Bigyan sila ng challenge. Siguro a statement on how to prove that green plants are involved in the process of photosynthesis. So if they agree, then they have to prove it. Okay? Open daw yun. So anong napili nila ngayon? Basta yun lang ang sinasabi, no? Na they have to ask students to come up with a question, come up with a procedure, and they have to answer and explain and communicate results. Okay, very good. Okay, congratulations sa lahat na grupo. Very good. I think we have done what we are supposed to do, what we're asked of us. Okay. So, maraming salamat po. Okay. So, ganito yon, no? As per outputs of groups 1, 2, and 3, sasabihin ko lang ito, no? So, from confirmation inquiry, it can become a structured inquiry by having students perform it prior to learning about the concept. Okay, so the three groups, no, your groups, using the levels of inquiry as guide. Okay, what you did was sa mga suggestions, hindi lang natapos yung ibang grupo. From a confirmation inquiry, it can become a structured inquiry by having students perform it prior to learning about the concept. So yung material na tinira natin kanina, pwedeng tanggalin mo na yung lahat na yun na sinabi niya before. Ang grupo who did it was tanggalin yung explanation rin ng number 6. Tama din. Okay, so very good. Okay. So how about the structured inquiry activity can be modified to guided inquiry by removing the procedural direction. So if you go back to the table, okay, doon sa guided, so dapat walang procedure. Okay? Sila din na mag-provide ng solution, ang maiwan lang, question lang. Tama din ang ginawa nila, no? Hindi lang siya natapos because hindi lang sila nakaselect ng kung anong question ang kanilang i-investigate. But I think there were quite a few questions. May nakita ako doon na magagandang pwedeng question na gagamitin. Okay. So, yun lang pala, no? Yun lang pala. Parang ang dali-dali gawin mo na. Kaya ba? Dear participants, dear colleagues, kaya pa? I think we can do it, no? Parang ang kailangan lang po ay mag-practice tayo, and this is the start. Nag-practice tayo of modifying a confirmation inquiry to a structured inquiry, also modifying a structured inquiry into a guided inquiry, and also yung group 3 din, that was a good experience for kay Miss Mavic at saka si Ma'am Jerai. They were on the right track, no? The question should be formulated by the students themselves. Okay, wala silang available or walang provision sa kanila na question, procedure, or solution. So, sila lahat ang gagawa noon. No? So, very good. So, I think that was a good practice. How was it? No? Ano po ba? No? So, congratulations sa ating lahat. Oo, you have done your job. Okay? So, now you have seen what can be done to modify one level of inquiry to another. No? You have known about the levels of inquiry. You have practiced how to modify one level of inquiry into another. So, what's the next question? Anong mga sunod natin tatanong? No? Yan. So, most probably ito, what inquiry skills are needed at each level of inquiry? Okay? Sa bawat level na yon, ano kayang skills ang kailangan nila para makagawa sila ng inquiry level na yon, na activity, no? And then, do students in your class already possess these skills? No? So, dalawa. Okay. Which brings us to the next slide that I would like to show you. Now, each level of inquiry demands from the learner a particular level of intellectual skills. Okay, so these are now the different levels of inquiry. You will notice that as the intellectual sophistication, okay, increases, the level of inquiry skills also increases. No? So that would mean that we should make sure that students should be made to do inquiry activities in which they have skills to do it. No? So parang yung bata halimbawa, hindi natin pwede mapatakbo kung hindi pa pala siya naglalakad. 'Di ba? Naririnig natin yung ganung klaseng kasabihan, no? So, to match your activity with the inquiry level you want to employ, there is another thing that you should consider. know the skills your students possess for them to succeed. Okay? So, tandaan natin, let the students do the inquiry activity in which they have the skills to do it. No? So, yun ang importanteng kailangan natin alaala when we design inquiry activities for our students. Okay? Siguro pwede na ako mag-synthesize, no? So, let's take a look at this, no? Okay, this is the next table that I would like to, or figure that I would like to show you, no? So, our discussion and activity this afternoon allowed us to learn a little bit more about teaching science through inquiry, no? May alam na tayo. The figure on your screen created by Mike Mantala, who was the resource person during the first part of this mini-series, shows how many important ideas related to scientific inquiry instruction. For one thing, the design of an inquiry-based activity must be aligned to the standards defined, okay, by the curriculum. Di po ba? Okay. These include content standard, the learning competencies, and the associated performance standards. Okay. Second, teachers can make use of the 4 levels of inquiry. As we have said, and we have known, confirmation, structured, guided, and open inquiry, where the locus of control can progress from teacher, okay, to student, or to the students. Third, you should note too that any advance in the inquiry continuum is matched by an advance in the level of inquiry or intellectual skills required from the students. It is here where assessment plays a central role in providing the needed information. And fourth, furthermore, a good match between the level of inquiry and students' inquiry skills, okay, could result to students seeing the connections, say, between concepts within a discipline, concepts across disciplines, and concepts across grade levels. More importantly, students will see the connections between science concepts and real life. Taught this way, science will enable students to attain conceptual understanding and at the same time see the big picture of science as a discipline. Okay? So, yun po ang ating gustong iparating sa inyo. No? And then, that's the end of my presentation.
Okay, folks, if you have questions or comments about the contents that were presented by Dulce, as well as the activity we did about modifying a particular activity, this is your time.
Sige po.
Questions or comments are welcome.
Okay. Sige, may sinasabi dito si Ma'am Jo. May SPED students siya. Most of them are deaf. Conferred deaf po ba ang the best? Hindi lang din. Di ba? Kasi sila, ang kanilang impairment lang ay pandinig. Hindi impaired ang kanilang pag-iisip, di ba? They can see, they can write. So, hindi sila pwedeng ilimit lang doon sa confirmation. Yes, Ma'am Jo, nice, good question. Di po ba? Okay, Mike, si Sir Mike is also available. Kung he is also available, he can answer some of the questions. What if there are advanced students in class? Anong pwede natin magawa? Sabi ni Ma'am Carol.
Ma'am Dulce, no?
Yes?
Yung, kung halimbawa, iba-iba yes, Ma'am Dulce. Kung halimbawa po, napaka heterogeneous yung class na yun, andito may suggestion si Mavic, na baka pwede ho raw gawin itong approach na ito in differentiating instructions. Oo. So, kung may iba't ibang mga kakayanan ng mga estudyante natin, pwede ho tayo mag-resort to differentiated learning and instruction.
Right.
Using, of course, as basis itong inquiry continuum.
Yeah, we always go back to the inquiry continuum. Okay, sabi ni Ms. Mavic, we can use this approach in differentiating our instructions, tama, for different kinds of learners. This is what Sir Mike is saying. Okay. Is it applicable daw to my students who are in the last 3 sections out of the 8 sections?
Ma'am Dulce, to answer Ma'am Carol's question, I would suggest po na we look into that perfect match between what level of inquiry we treat our materials with or to, and what level of inquiry skills our students have. So kung halimbawa po, nasa last 3 sections sila, out of 8 sections, at nakita niyo po na nasa confirmation level pa lang sila, or to use the term na ginamit natin last time, kung halimbawa nasa rudimentary inquiry skills pa lang sila, pwede ko kayo mag-start with confirmation inquiry. Okay lang po yan. Nabanggit nga ni Ma'am Dulce kanina, we don't ask our learners to run if they haven't learned to walk yet. I think that sums up the point to the question.
Okay. Yes, I agree with Sir Mike. There's also a point na pwede ba natin pag marami silang na-practice, yes? Pwede na natin sila, nakailang confirmation sila, na-explain natin ng tama.
Right.
Tapos, little by little, pwede natin silang mahatak to the higher level of inquiry.
Pwede naman yan.
Posible ba yun? No? Oo, pwede na yun. Okay, so, si Miss Celia would like to say something. Tama, Ms. Mavic.
These are very interesting questions, some students who have hearing impairment, some students who are in the lower sections, students who are advanced. I think this is precisely where the idea of the levels of inquiry or the continuum can provide answers, no? So, sa totoo lang, iba-iba nga sila ng levels. So, ang ibig sabihin ng mga levels na yon, kayang-kaya silang i-match dun sa kakayanan ng mga estudyante. So, dati, isa lang ang klase ng inquiry. So, posibleng isang level lang yon, no? At nire-require natin yung lahat ng mga estudyante na i-perform yung activity na yun isang level. Samantalang, yung iba sa kanila huli dun sa required na inquiry skills. O kaya, mas advance. So, hindi bagay din sa kanila, no? May mismatch din. Now that we have this continuum, itong iba't ibang classification, no? Itong classification ng inquiry na pwedeng gamitin sa klase, ay in fact, mas magagamit natin para itugma dun sa mga pangangailangan at abilidad ng mga estudyante. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung mga lower years, ang assumption ba natin ay medyo hindi, yung kanilang intellectual sophistication ay medyo nasa lower end. So kung ganun, ang pipiliin natin na inquiry, na level of inquiry or activity ay yung nagre-require ng skills na tutugma sa kung ano meron sila. So yun namang mga medyo advance, ang ibig sabihin nun, kaya nila, yung intellectual ability nila ay kaya yung level ng inquiry na medyo mataas ng konti kesa sa confirmation o kaya kesa sa structured. Baka kaya pa nila yung tinatawag nating guided or even yung open-ended. So actually, itong mga nire-raise ninyo na questions are the perfect scenarios for applying the inquiry continuum. Kasi ngayon, meron na kayong choice, meron na kayong paraan para isuit, no? I-modify ang inyong o structure ang inyong inquiry activities para nga tumugma doon sa inyong mga estudyante. So, ang ibig sabihin pati nun, kung sa buong klase ninyo, sa loob ng isang klase nyo, iba-iba yung levels nila, posibleng pwede din silang makapag-perform ng inquiry at different levels na hindi kailangang pare-pareho sila. So actually, ang maganda, sagot ang continuum, sagot sa inyong mga needs na in-express ngayon. Tama po ba?
Okay. I think it was very well said, no? Ngayon, mayroon tayong choice na tugma sa level ng skills na kaya gawin ng ating mga estudyante. Di ba? Maganda yun. Napakagandang bagay, napakagandang realization na naibigay din sa atin at napakagandang concept, no? Ang naibigay sa atin ngayong hapon. So, sige, meron pa ba iba? Meron pa tayo ng...
Isa lang isi-share ko. I hope we have to bear in mind that yung inquiry process po ay hindi po bigla ang mangyayari sa mga students natin, ano? They may start at the level na yung tinatawag, yung start na level ng sa continuum. Pero pag po yung design ng inyong mga activities, kaya ang gusto ko lang pong message ay hindi po nangyayari yung pag-develop ng inquiry skills ng ating mga students in a short time. Kaya, importante pong ma-design yung mga activities and ma-assess ninyo from time to time kung anong level na ng inquiry ang mga estudyante ninyo or ano na yung mga inquiry skills na they're engaging into. Kaya, kumbaga po, like sinasabi ninyong, paano pag low level ang students ko, so kaya ba nila yung higher levels of inquiry? Of course, sa simula talagang hindi ka magsa-start dun sa high level, di ba? Magsisimula ka dun sa mababa. Pero, unti-unti yung sinasabi ni Mavic, unti-unti hahatakin mo siya to the next level, pero hindi po dapat agad-agad. Kumbaga, dapat po, yung activity ninyo ay yung inyong lessons, yung activities na ibibigay ninyo sa students ay masusustain po nila, no? Masusustain po yung pag-develop or yung engagement ng mga bata sa mga ganong klaseng skills that would help them move up to the next level. Remember, just like yung pag-develop ng HATS, di ba? Hindi ho nangyayari yon na agad-agad yung mga estudyante nyo ay mag-engage na into higher order thinking. Of course, may mga iba na hindi. May iba na yung mga talagang magagaling na mga students. Pero remember, lahat po ng ito ay nagdidepende dun sa klase ng mga activities and yung frequency ng pagbibigay ninyo ng mga ganong klaseng activities that help them improve, no? Or that make them engaged into those kinds of levels of inquiry. Yun lang po. Thank you po.
Okay? Oo. Thank you, Miss Mona, no? So, tama nga din ang sinasabi ni Miss Mona. Ideally, students should progress gradually from lower to higher levels over the course of a year, no? So, they need to practice inquiry, building up to increasingly open and complex levels. Okay? Students cannot be expected to conduct high-level inquiry investigations after having participated exclusively in low-level activities throughout the year. Okay. Kailangan din ng appropriate scaffolding, which will result in greater student success and satisfaction. Okay. So, anong kailangan ng ating mga teachers? By understanding first what constitutes an inquiry lesson, teachers will be better able to implement true inquiry-based learning in science activities. And once understanding how inquiry can be designed with increasing student involvement will enable teachers to enhance inquiry learning further. Okay? But not every worthwhile activity is inquiry-based, nor it should be for that matter. Ang importante po is that they will be able to assess those that are while designing and implementing higher levels of inquiry in the classroom. No? So, marami tayong mga readings dyan na pwede nating mabasa para matulungan din tayo. I think this is a good start, no, sa ating mga teachers na pwede pala maumpisahan mag-practice, no? So, siguro ang suggestion with that ko dyan ay you can collaborate with your co-teachers sa eskwelahan ninyo. Kayo na naka-experience dyan, no, na naka-experience nito, pwede nating ma-share sa iba, pwede nating makwento sa iba, no? Para din you can work together, okay, to improve your lessons. Una siguro knowing what an inquiry lesson is, no? And then later on, you gradually move on to developing inquiry-based lessons, and then pati si estudyante ninyo gradually din papagawin natin sila ng hindi lang confirmation, no? So, sa buong taon ba, may isang tanong doon, sa buong taon ba, kailangan ba lahat ay ganito lang klase? Yun ang sinasabi din kanina ng ating mga kasama na nagsalita. No? Hindi rin gano'n. Ano? Kasi depende din kuminsan sa mga topics. Pero ang importante is that ma-experience natin yung na importante at nakakatulong sa pag-intindi ng mga bata ng science concepts ang inquiry. Di po ba? No? So, ano pa, are we still going to, sige. Maganda din yung sinasabi ni John, no? It is extremely helpful in understanding how teachers can scaffold students' growth in doing science. Okay? From one level of inquiry to the next. Right? Yes, Mona. Okay? So, maraming pwedeng mag-share. Okay? At saka siguro, kailangan natin intindihin talaga yung mga estudyante natin. Hindi rin tayo magmadali. Yan ang sinasabi ni Ms. Mona. No? So, sa tingin nyo ba, magandang start ito na experience na makagawa kayo ng mga ganitong klaseng activity? No?
May binabanggit po dito si Ma'am Jeray, Ma'am Dulce. Sabi niya, I think we just have to identify first the fast and the slow learners. Peer teaching is an excellent way to bring the slow learners to the next level. Maganda itong nabanggit po niya na peer teaching. Totoo po yan kasi hindi ko natin alam talaga kung saan ang inclination ng mga estudyante natin. Kasi it's likely rin na ang mga estudyante natin, pwedeng hindi sila ganon na nag-excel sa ating subject sa science, for example, pero sa ibang mga subjects, nag-excel sila. So, if we have this opportunity to collaborate with our co-teachers, baka makita rin po natin, malaman natin from our co-teachers kung saan nag-excel itong mga batang ito at pwede ho nating itap itong forte na ito ng bata upang ma-gear natin siya towards the kind of learning that we want from them, or yung learning development that we expect from them. Marami ho tayong hindi alam sa mga estudyante natin kung halimbawa nakatutok lang tayo sa disiplina natin at kung paano natin tinuturo ang disiplina natin sa kanila. Mainam din po itong binabanggit ni Ma'am Jeray na magkaroon tayo ng pagkakataon na makipag-collaborate sa ating mga co-teachers upang malaman natin kung paano sa isang holistic na kapamaraanan ay matulungan natin ang ating mga estudyante.
Okay. Oo. Tama nga, yung reflection ni John na how much do I know about what my students can do. Parang napakaganda na reflection yan, Kasi kung minsan, hinihilera na lang natin sila, ay, mga yan, di ba? So siguro, yan talaga ang importante na bagay din na dahan-dahan kilalanin natin yung ating estudyante, okay? Para matulungan natin sa kanilang learning, 'di ba? Tapos, siyempre, kung anong kakayahan nila, Tama, oh. You profile your students. Yes, right. Para maging basis daw in designing activities suited for them. Okay? So, siguro, okay, si Miss Celia.
So again, let us take this chance to thank Dulce and Michael for challenging us, no, to think about how much inquiry is really happening in our classes, no, especially that inquiry instruction is really the hallmark of the current K-12 science education reform. Alam ng mga teachers natin kung gaano ka-importante ang inquiry sa pagtuturo ng science, no? Kaya lang, karamihan sa ating mga teachers ay hindi alam kung paano gagamitin ang inquiry, no? So we hope that by doing this mini-series focused on connections and on scientific inquiry in the classroom, we have provided you with a practical guide or a practical framework in the examples of using the levels, the 4 levels of inquiry, at the same time the inquiry continuum, and then looking at those from the perspectives of locus of control and intellectual or cognitive sophistication, no? Itong framework na ito, yung guide na ito, I think ang napaka-importanting tool sa ating mga teachers. Minsan sabihin na lang inquiry, pero anong klase? Nakakatulong, no? Itong yung pagle-level natin, pagka-classify natin ng inquiry sa klase para mabigyan talaga natin ng pagkakataon yung mga estudyante na to engage in scientific inquiry. I hope that the frameworks, the models that we have shown and shared to you will help you assess the level of inquiry that it supports, no, in that your activities in class supports, and always take the proactive role to assess the levels of inquiry that your students are able to do, how ready they are, and scaffold their transition from a teacher-directed inquiry type of activities to those that they can do on their own, no? At sabi nga ni Mona, gradual yung movement na yun, at saka kailangang pinaplano ng isang teacher. So I think at this point, it's important na realize na natin, no, napaka-importante pala ng role natin para ma-realize yung sinasabi nating scientific inquiry experience for our students. Kung hindi natin siseryosohin, hindi natin mabibigay sa kanila itong opportunity na ito to engage in scientific inquiry. So again, thank you all for joining us. And may I take this time to request you to fill out our feedback form. Let me show that slide so you can click the link to the feedback form. Okay, so let me remind members of Kasama Teachers, we are going to have the orientation webinar tomorrow at 2 p.m. So we hope you can join us so that you will know how to take full advantage of your membership in Kasama Teachers. So let me just take this opportunity to once again invite everyone to the international conference that we will conduct in October, 28 to 30 of October this year. Right now, you can register either online or using our printed or hard copy version of the registration form. You can also download the announcements, the DepEd advisories, and those of you who are interested to present. You can submit your abstracts online. Just visit the conference website that you see on the screen right now for much more details about the conference. Okay, so I hope you folks have replied to the feedback form. May I know if you have done so on the chat? Just indicate that you have completed the feedback form. The recording of this webinar as well as the presentation used by Dulce will also be posted in Kasama Teachers in the grade 9 science discussion thread. So keep on visiting the site, and we will also be announcing it on the main page as soon as these are available. Yes, kita-kits tayo bukas, no, sa orientation webinar. And as Mona has said there in the chat, bantay-bantayan lang po ninyo, no? Meron pa pong mga webinars that are right now being conceptualized. So, hindi po tayo mauubusan, no? So, keep on visiting. Thank you, everyone. We are going to close the webinar room in a while. So, please take advantage of this last few minutes or so to chat a bit more with the other participants. Again, thank you and happy weekend.